The purpose of this event is to showcase the inmates as real people with points of view and perspectives that are illustrated through beautiful artistry. At this moment, I'd like to introduce the administrator of the Grant County Detention Center, Mr. Mike Carrillo.
Thank you so much for taking time out in your evening to come and view all of the artistic talents that we have at the detention center. You know, it's amazing. When I came in to the detention center as the administrator, it was, it touched my heart that the inmates that are in the facility have the kind of talent that they're displaying here tonight. It's just awesome. I do want to thank you all for taking the time to be here. And view all the art and kind of have, you know, a social hour, if you will, and we can all talk. And what I'd like to do, first of all, is acknowledge some of the individuals in attendance tonight. I'd like to start with Councilwoman Cano from Silver City. And the other person is not here, but I'd like to, you know, acknowledge and tell him thank you, is Alex Brown. When we first started the inmate support program, myself and Mary Stecker went to the city. We went to Alex Brown and we asked him for assistance because we had nothing. And without hesitation, the city and Alex Brown, they absolutely stepped up and they said, "Well, absolutely support what you're doing." So I really want to thank Alex Brown and the city, Silver City, for the support of this program. Also, I'd like to acknowledge Grant County, our county manager, Charlene Webb. She couldn't make it tonight. She asked me to please acknowledge the fact she had another meeting, but she didn't want to be here. But the county also is very much in support of the program, and they also gave us some funding to be able to continue with this very important cause. There's a lady in attendance also, is Magistrate Judge Maureen Laney. We've had the opportunity to work together, and she's an awesome judge. Thank you, Judge, for all the support. There's another lady behind Judge Laney, and that's Catherine from New Beginnings. Catherine is also part of our inmate support committee. She's always there. She's always supplying us with new ideas. She's never hesitated to support this program, and I'll get into a little bit, real brief about what the program is in a minute, but I do want to acknowledge Catherine, and thank you very much, Catherine, for everything that you do. Talk about a lady that is the glue that holds everything together. Mary she's right there. I tell you, not only is she with the inmate support, the health council, Casa, you name it. If there's a project going on, Mary's behind it, and she's the one that holds the glue together. Mary, thank you for everything that you do. Carrie, I'm going to forget about Carrie. Carrie came to the program, and she came in, and as soon as she came in and knew what we were doing, she's like Mary Stecker. She is a bulldog. She absolutely comes in, and she absolutely. We ask her to do something, and sometimes we don't even have to ask her. She just does it, and she does a whole lot. And Carrie, thank you so much. I'll give you a little history about the program and how this whole thing got started. When I came here, I was in Deming. I was born and raised here. I was the former sheriff here a lot of years ago. Went to Deming, I came back home. And when I got here, I immediately started going to the COCC meetings with where Mary was at, and just started thinking beyond. Being in law enforcement for 38 years and then going into corrections is apples and oranges. And I saw a side of the inmates that are in the facility that you normally don't see, especially if you're in law enforcement. When you're there with them, 24/7. You start to realize that there's a different side of some of the inmates that are in the facility, and that's a good thing. And that was one thing that I've been fortunate to be able to recognize. So when I saw what was happening in the facility and also in corrections around the state, first thing that came to me was, in a sense, corrections is not doing enough to help the inmates in the facility. And with whatever the resources, whatever it is, because I'm going to tell you a little story. When I first came here, when I first came into the facility, I walked in the back for the first time, walked into the pods back there, and I saw some individuals that I had arrested back in the 70s. I'm aging myself, but and they're still in the facility. And I thought, there's something wrong. And I went to talk to them and I asked them, I said, what are you doing? What is happening? Why are you still here? I mean, they're my age. I wouldn't say they're older, but they're my age. And they're still entering back into the facility. They're still reoffending. And I sat down and I listened to them. Then I went into some other pods and I started seeing some of the younger individuals, those that are in their 20s, between their 20s and 30s and 40s. And I recognized the name. And I would go back there and I'd say, are you related to so-and-so? And the first thing they'd tell me, said, yeah, my grandpa and my dad, they told me I was going to meet you. It's generational now. You know, and that's what really hit me. If we have that problem, we better do something about it, because if we do nothing, we're going to continue to have this generational problem. And that was the first thing that really had an impact on me. So with Mary's help and all everybody else that I mentioned, we started kind of brainstorming, and this is where we came. This is where we're at. This is what we came up with. We decided we were going to think outside of the box. You know, I go through the inmates' mail for security issues and security purposes, and I started looking at all the talent that you see here today, and I was amazed. And I went back into the pods and I told the inmates, you know, why don't you guys use the talent that you have to improve your life and improve the life of your families? You have that talent. You can do this. You know, don't be making these pictures just for anybody. You could be doing that for yourself. And I was amazed, because it wasn't just photographs that I saw that they were making. And I'll give you a story that I've told everybody, is that I looked in one folder and there was a purse. It was a full-size lady's purse with straps on it. And I looked at it, and the first thing that came to my mind is, how did they get this purse in the facility? It looked like it came from a jewelry store. And an inmate had put little squares, aluminum squares that they can get from commissary, from the candies and stuff. I don't know how long it took him to do that, but he tied these little squares together, silver and black. I opened the purse. It had pockets. Everything except a zipper. I thought it came from a jewelry store. I really did. And I could not believe how long it took him to do that, and how amazing, how much talent that individual had. And I went back and told him, I said, you know, you could support yourself and your family if you only realized how much talent you really have. So with that, and looking at the mail and all the drawings and stuff, I came to Abe, and you know, one of the acknowledgments that I forgot was Abe and Western New Mexico University. When I came to him and I started telling him about this art project, Mr. Villarreal took it under his, he introduced me to the art director. I started showing her some of the stuff, and it was an immediate, Western New Mexico wrapped their arms around this whole project. Thank you, Abe, for doing that. Thank you, Western, for doing that. When we saw the talent, you know, we did it 1 year, and we talked about doing exactly what we're doing here tonight. One of the times I came up here, and I was doing a recruitment program for the detention center, and I took a couple pieces of art, and I just had them up there, and we were doing our recruiting, and people were coming by and looking at them and say, who did this? And I said, well, this is the inmate art. And they turned around and said, we want to buy it. And I cannot tell you how many people came up and said, how much is that? how much is that one? How much? And it dawned on me, you know, maybe this is the start of not only showing the inmates that, I mean, whether they know about their talent or not, but now this could be an opportunity for them when they get out to start supporting themselves and their family because of the talent that they have. And it dawned on me, so I came to Abe and I said, Abe, what if we did this again? And what if we were able to get some donations for the art that the inmates have done? Support their family, support themselves, but more than anything, encourage them to know that, you know, the bad decisions they made, they got them into the facility. I think what I'm hoping for tonight is to show not only the inmates, but all of you, the general public, that there is a different side. There's a side that I saw, and there is a different side. And, you know, if the bad decisions that they made, if tonight we can convince one or two inmates to use their God-given talent to help them support themselves, which is the first thing, is they have to know that they can do that. Instead of somebody putting a label on them and putting a label on their forehead that everybody in town knows that they're a prisoner, instead of putting that label, give them an opportunity, and it's going to be up to them. Give them that opportunity to open some doors for them so they can maybe, when they get out, they can use this experience knowing that, look at the support that they have right now. You guys could be home watching TV, or you could be doing something else, but you decided to come here for a reason. Maybe it's the same reason that I have, is to give them an opportunity and to open up and to change their lives. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this. And so if that's why we're here, then they need to see what kind of support this community has for them to be able to change their lives so they don't keep going through that door at the detention center. And I don't have to read the letters to their families where they're saying, I'm sorry for everything that I've done and I'm going to change. And I talked to the inmates, and the reason they didn't change, because they didn't think anybody cared. And one of the programs that I was associated with in Deming was, we had a leadership program for youthful offenders. And we stressed education. And one thing that I learned from those kids, that everybody gave up on them until we got them in that program. And all they wanted to know was, yes, there's consequences. Yes, they want to know that somebody cares. And yes, they want to know that there's going to be somebody when they decide to, if they're sliding back. And our recidivism went way down for these youthful offenders. They came back as peers. They came back as peer instructors. They didn't have to come back in the program. And I thought, if it worked for kids, it's absolutely going to work. It can work for adults also. And so tonight, I want to thank you. We're going to work at this. We're not going to give up. We're going to keep doing this. We're going to keep helping the inmates, and Carrie's going to talk about our inmate support program. We're going to keep supporting them. We're going to keep doing what we can for them. So when they walk out that door, somebody's going to latch on to them, and they're going to say, you can make it. And we are going to get rid of recidivism. Thank you very much.
Can't you feel his heart? Right? I'm Carrie Lemon. I'm with the Grant County Health Council, and that's quite a thing to follow. But just briefly, I will expand just a little bit on explaining what the inmate support program is all about at large. I came into it just about a year ago, but there is a subcommittee of the COCC that started doing some research back in 2012, looking at what are some programs that can be implemented to address recidivism. So with that research and this subcommittee coming together, and folks like Mike Carrillo and Mary Stecker, who really recognize that there's something that needs to be done, that the facility, the structure of our corrections facility is missing, needs to be implemented. So this program was launched in January, so it's a year old. So imagine an actual year-old, right? It's young, but the premise of the inmate support program is it's person-centered. So, and there's a wraparound team. The wraparound model is an actually evidence-based model that pulls in who needs to be at the table to help this person achieve their vision, their statement of, this is what I want my life to look like now. I can make new decisions. I can't do it alone. So who needs to be at the table? And then as that plan is created while during incarceration, then the transition plan kicks in when they're released. And that wraparound team stays with that person. The members might change depending on the circumstances, but that team, wraparound team, stays with them as they transition back into the community, because it is a process. And that's the essence of the inmate support program, and that is how we are working to address recidivism and reduce recidivism. So this art exhibit, I believe, yeah, it's a reminder. We all have a story. We all have a dark side. We all have self-worth, and sometimes need to be reminded that we're worth a second chance. We're worth being seen for our strengths. So I want to say thank you to this crowd. There's like about 100 of you out there. Thank you for coming and supporting, and a shout out to all of those folks that Mike mentioned, the city and the county. That's the only reason why we're in existence. They're the ones that gave us money. So thank you to the artists for sharing your gifts so that we can celebrate you. And with that, I'm gonna say, oh, I'm sorry. Esther Jameson, our lovely guitarist this evening, providing the lovely, beautiful guitar music. Thank you, Esther. Thank you so much.
We have one more special guest. This is Anthony Roba. And some of his work is being featured tonight, including this piece right here, right in front of us. And he has about 5 or 6 pieces that are here that he did in Santa Fe, but he's back in our community, and he's going to share a few words.
My name is Anthony Roybal, and I had been incarcerated before, and I always enjoyed doing artwork. And so when I saw that they were putting on something to support any type of inmates that were interested in artwork, I thought it would be a good idea to kind of, I had a bunch of pieces that I would just send home a lot of time, or just to various people that I know, or I just held on to them. And I continued my artwork. This is my most recent piece. It's still a little wet, but it's an oil painting. It's kind of an Asian theme. And it's my most recent one. I just finished it actually yesterday. And so I just wanted to say a few words, and just, you know, that if I can, if any of my pieces that are here, I'll probably be donating anything towards the support of the program itself, for other artists too. So unfortunately, this one isn't for sale because I'm trying to get some back stock to continue with my art. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.
I just have to give one more acknowledgement. The Inmate Support Program currently has a bill in the legislative session right now, House Bill 395. It is in currently House of Appropriations and Finance Committee. So our representatives, Rudy Martinez, is sponsoring that bill. Rebecca Dow and Senator Howie Morales and Representative Candy Sweetser have all been really supportive, and I really must give them acknowledgement. So we want to thank our local representatives in backing this program.
So now you'll have an opportunity to look at the artwork if you haven't already. The exhibit will be up through March 10th. So no pieces will be going home with you tonight. The pieces say if they're for sale or not. Some aren't. And they also have a minimum donation amount on them. So when you see the price tag, that is your minimum donation amount. You're welcome to give more. The proceeds will go, in most cases, back directly to the inmate, and in some cases back to the Inmate Support Program. If you would like a piece, all you have to do is go back to the center table there with a bouquet of flowers next to the camera, and you will let them know the art number. There's an art number on it, and they'll have you fill out a form. And then March 10th, when the exhibit is over, we'll contact you and let you know how you can have the artwork and make the transaction. HMS has been very generous in donating some goodies that are out in the corridor, so you're welcome to have some of that too. Thank you very much for attending tonight.